I came up with a new idea then. I was going to hide you.
Really? That was
Before
good.
you even, but it would have been even harder than just winning.
Would have been good.
Hey!
Sign off the
Hi,
light.
Rick. Hi, John.
Hello, fellas. How are we doing?
Good.
Where's Craig?
What?
I don't know.
We won. We beat him. Fuck you, man.
Never win
Fuck you,
again.
Craig. We're faster than you.
It's taken ages to come on.
Hello,
Richard,
what number
you're
show is it?
fine.
97.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 97 of the RDA Show. In today's show, we will be putting an RDA in the Hall of Fame. We'll be talking about squonking a lot. There is some stuff later on as well. We've got a special guest as well. Rick's going to do a mod showcase, and we'll finish on a troll of the week as well. John,
hello.
How has your week been?
That's really. Yeah, sorry.
What did you have for breakfast? And when did you last have pork?
Oh, that's a good question. It's been one of those. Just a tough week. You know, it's just been feels long. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Yeah, because my mum came to stay at the weekend.
Yeah.
What? It's fine.
You always enjoy it when your mum comes to stay.
I really enjoy it when she leaves.
Is that the way you were in the toilet vaping, weren't you? Can't you vape in front of them?
Yeah. But it was just having that moment of peace in the toilet on my own.
Yeah,
it was good. Yeah, it was my mother and father-in-law's wedding anniversary on Sunday, so we all went out for dinner. I just can't be arsed. You just want to come home and chill. Yeah, that's the week been. What did I have for breakfast? What did I had
Some sort of yogurt.
Lemon and lime yogurt. Yeah, do you know what? I had a lemon and lime yogurt this morning because I had a ginger and vanilla last week. Oh no, I didn't have elderflower last week, but I had vanilla the week before. So I thought, mix it up.
No brainer.
And pork. When was the last time I had pork? Not a huge pork fan.
Yeah, but it comes in many forms, doesn't it?
That is true. Yeah. So I had. Oh yeah. I had ham. I had ham sandwiches on Sunday evening for Sunday too.
So, all right, okay, fair enough. Pork inside you on Sunday.
Had a good pork on Sunday. What am I vaping on? I am vaping on. Look at this little. Is the camera better today? Is it better now?
Yeah.
Right, I've tried to fix my camera, people. Hopefully you can see that. I am vaping on the Vapresso Aurora still with, I haven't got it, but grape apple Saltnik, 45 milligram Saltnik.
You're so high end, John.
I know. 25 quid this cost me. 25 of your English pounds.
Isn't it a clone as well?
No,
it's a clone of a Zippo.
Yes, a clone of a Zippo. It's stupid. Yeah, it's quite good. I've got like one. There was a couple of downsides to it. It can get a bit gurgly sometimes, but it's to do with that gooseneck drip tip. So you have to take it off and blow it through, and the coils don't last that long.
Ooh, how long?
Like, it sounds stupid, but about 5 days.
No, that doesn't work. How many milliliters of juice?
Oh fuck, not much.
10?
Answer. 20.
20. Yeah, that's about standard.
Pretty good going, really. I think. I mean, if you're changing your wick every couple of days in a coil, dry burning, that's similar, isn't it?
For that type, type of coil, it's about. That's what I tend to find. You know, like the Inic and stuff.
Yeah. So that's that. Boom. I got the billet box is back on the show. Billet box. It's got the Kanga bridge in it, not Kanga. Yeah, no, the bridge, sports bridge in it because I'm using Nautilus 2 coils. The Nautilus V2 coils, 0.7 ohm coils, and Raspberry Mint I've mixed some raspberry mint up ready for RDAs. I've got that in there, and it's rather good. The next thing I have is the Wasp on top of the SQ Squonker.
It's meant to be quite good, that Wasp, isn't it?
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I don't know. It's quite nice for a single coil, and the battery lasts a lot longer because it's not dual coil and all that. And in that is that one. In that is that one by Coil Vapes, which is a coming soon for Just Add Nick as well. We are going to. This was sent to me as a sample from Dean to see if to see if I liked it and to see if we wanted to stock it. It's a tobacco with a touch of vanilla, and it's absolutely cracking. To go with a beer, it's fantastic. It really is. And
it sounds similar to that Cubano, which was a slight vanilla with a tobacco. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I tried that actually. You had that from down the road from you, didn't you, Cubano? I don't think I tried that at the time. It's not, because a few people have said to me, "Oh, is it RY4?" But there's no caramel, so it's not RY4. If you're expecting RY4, this isn't the one. It's if you ever tried Tripoli from Charlie Noble, it's close to that. And Vape Swag's tobacco, which I lost the name of, it's gone out of my head.
It's tobacco with a hint of vanilla in it.
Yeah, but it's kind of an adult vape, if that makes any sense. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like food was more sophisticated, sort of.
Like a nice, it's a sophisticated tobacco.
Sarah loves it.
Does she?
Yeah, I've got a bottle. I've given it to her. Well, I've had a bit and passed it on. She's all over it.
I didn't know Mrs. Vic vaped.
No, she messes about with it. She doesn't do it properly.
Did she what? She used like 3?
No, it's 6, that bottle, isn't it?
Was it? Nice. Good lady.
Yeah.
Does she play about vaping like she does it?
Oh, what? Sarah likes that one?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's got it in there. Siren V2.
Did you enjoy it? I forgot you got it. Do you enjoy it?
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was nice. Very nice. It has to be a good tobacco now for me to even bother. And it was.
And it's nice. Not. And the other thing is, it's not a coil fucker either.
No, it's got a colour to it, but it doesn't. No, it doesn't wreck the coils.
No, it's not a coil wrecker, which is good. I'm going to pass over to Richard, but this is the fun game we're going to have, though, Richard.
Oh,
This is the surprise game. This is just me. Rick doesn't even know what I'm going to do now. I just need a pen. I've got a pen. Right, I'll do it on this piece of card here. Right. So, no, I will ask you your normal questions.
I'm very worried.
What?
I'm worried.
No. It's just a bit of fun. Literally just being a geek. This is called Richard's Pilkington quiz. That's what we're going to do. Not many people know, but Richard is Carl Pilkington, Ricky Gervais show geek, and as am I. And so rather than ask the normal question like, have you been on a slide, I'm going to see how many you can get. It's going to take, I can do it in less than 3 minutes. They're quick fire questions, Richard.
Go for it.
You need to prove your geekiness. Okay, Richard's big car quiz. How many buttons would a chimp need to fly a spacecraft, and what would they each do?
There's a banana shoot button.
Yeah, that's one.
And there's a left button, isn't there?
That's everything else. That is 2 buttons, and you know what they both do. And that is you have got that one. When using a CB radio, how would you ask another user's name and age?
What's your handle and how many candles are you burning?
Perfect. If you wanted to set fire to a toaster, how would you achieve that?
You'd put sausages in it.
That is correct. If you were to lose your penis in an accident and would prefer not to lose a finger to replace the appendage, what would you suggest using?
A sausage.
That is totally
but
true.
You can't do that. It's just awful.
That's the live from a butcher. Can you suggest a gift one might buy a significant other as a birthday surprise?
bumper pack of condoms.
That is totally right. You are completely right. Can you suggest? Oh, sorry. A man went to school with Carl Pilkington, and now, unsurprisingly, he lives where?
In a cave or a hole or something.
That is totally true. He does live in a cave. What is more painful than childbirth?
Oh, kidney stones.
Yep. If, say, someone's wife died the night before, what question are you expected to ask?
Exactly what time?
Perfect. Your cat keeps being sick. What do you do?
Shave it.
Perfect. How would you prevent your partner killing or throwing out a spider that you had befriended and allowed to live under the television?
Put a little bit of Tipex on it.
Perfect. How would you test the chameleon's colour changing ability?
Put it on a mirror.
Perfect. And what advice would you give the chameleon? Just for life.
Stay green. Stay in the wood.
That is perfect. And what object would you grab if you suddenly experienced abdominal pain at home?
An ashtray, because it's old cold.
If
you don't have an ashtray, just use a plate.
You got every single question right.
Yeah.
Yay! See, I know Richard could do that. I just thought it'd be really funny if it was. Right, Richard, what did you have for lunch? How's your week been? What are you vaping
on? Right. Lunch, sushi. Not proper sushi, just like Tesco sushi.
Has that even got fish in it, Tesco's sushi?
King prawn and salmon. And beyond that, it's just a cucumber wrapped in rice in it.
Rice and seaweed.
Yeah.
Nori, isn't it? Nori.
Yeah. It's I don't know.
Smother it in soy, it's all right.
Yeah, but they don't give you that much, do they?
They give you a little fish. It's nice little fish.
Fish.
Yeah. I could do with 2 fishes.
And some, like, did I notice a lot of them now don't have wasabi in them? I like wasabi. Where's that gone?
I don't need wasabi for lunch. Personally,
I will say somebody did say in chat that the quiz was rehearsed. I promise it wasn't. Rich didn't even know I was going to do that, and neither did Rick. I just knew he was the only person. There's only one of the only people I know who could answer those questions.
No, I could eat wasabi at night. Right. Week. Tough week. Reviewed a prototype. It was meant to be a legit retail version. That was a massive waste of time.
Not your fault.
Not my fault. So that's a thing. What else happened? Did a review today without errors, first time for weeks. Nobody watched it. That's it, I think. No, things have happened. The only shining light, the icing on a shitty cake, was Freddie's crawling now, which is quite cool.
Hey, he was nearly crawling, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's properly all over the shop now, which is quite good.
Oh, Freddie.
They sort of come to life when they can move. That's that. Lunch. Right, vaping on. Vaping. Did you do what you were vaping on? Oh, I get it now. I'm vaping on this.
Ooh, what's that?
Squonker.
Good.
The tripophobic.
That is. Look at that.
I've even got, by pure chance, a matching battery wrap.
That is very funky. Can you hold the other side up again?
Ideal.
I'm going to find out in a bit. Yeah.
Look at that.
Unfortunately, I gave Bradley the wrong address, and so I got a red card. But I'll get mine tomorrow. How cool is that?
It's cool, isn't it? It's really good.
It's so good.
I love the.
So good.
I really like an instantly recognizable thing, and that is just like totally trademarked at this point. But also, like, I really like the cutout as well.
Well, it has to be regular, being tripophobic.
Yes. Yeah.
It's wicked.
But it's really good. I've never actually had. We'll talk about this later on more, I'm sure. But I've never had an Illumide before. I've had a look. I've had a go. on other people's, but it's some really nice material, isn't it? It's really got a bit more about it, hasn't it?
They have some weight to them, don't they? That's what makes them better, and they're sturdy. You can get them printed quite thin, and they're sturdy enough, so they're good for small ones.
The complete opposite side to the coin, I've got my 5G Squonker from China. It's the Supercar BF box from 5G.
Supercar BF box.
It has on the back a supercar.
What the hell has a supercar got to do with a Squonker?
Well, it's a Supercar 5G, so
Needs a horn on it or something, doesn't it? And then it could have that on there.
I am a fan of the Domino box door, but it hasn't. It's got play on it, and
That's not stabilised wood, though, is it?
No, it's a rich mahogany.
Yeah. So you're gonna have discrepancies in the wood. It's gonna shrink and do stuff and give you gaps.
Yeah, it's also it's held on. The reason it's got a bit, it's held on just by those two little.
Not quite enough, is it?
They should have put some up for when the battery's in there. Also, it's a non-adjustable 510.
Really?
But it's not sprung either.
No, yeah, it comes with a range of insulators, which involve completely taking the 510 apart.
Why the fuck do they not do it properly?
It's a bit of a joke. So it's an absolute hair trigger as well. I don't know if that's intentional, but every time I put it down, it's firing as I put it down. It came with this RDA, the Washington. It's one of these magnetic top cap jobs, which is all right if you're a nervous squonker, actually. So that's the thing. That's the thing.
You got to watch those nervous squonkers.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Those people that never quite sure if they've got enough juice in there and they need to press the bottle.
Yeah, I know the type.
Yeah, you see them shifting about.
Being nervous in the corner.
To complete my set, I have the Therion DNA 75C. Oh, I should say actually, the Supercar. I thought this was as soft as it got. The bottle in the 5G is basically just a condom full of e-juice. when you press it, it doesn't go back into its original form. It just stays compressed. It's the thinnest, squonkiest bottle ever. But no, this is a nice in between. But that's a nice press on that. I really like this mod, and I've still got Nata in there, which is a lovely juice from just I think .co.uk.
Saying that, we've just got a load of stock back in tonight. So yeah, if you want to try Nata and you missed it the first time,
this would be a lot better if it had a ModMaker 510 from modmaker.co.uk
and a ModMaker bottle, not a condom.
I'm still on the fence with the condom because it is very, very, very effective. Just it's very weird just to see it all compressed and sad.
Oh,
I'm sure it'll spring back in the end.
Yeah, you sort of give it a little nudge and it eventually goes wild. Rick, what are you vaping on? What did you have for lunch? And if you went to the zoo tomorrow, what would be the first animal you'd wish to see?
Right, okay. What did I have for lunch today?
You start thinking of these questions in advance.
I had leftovers.
Made funnier off the cuff.
I had leftovers from last night's tea. And what we had last night's tea was leftovers from the night before. But we had a chicken, right? And then Nanny made a chicken and mushroom pie without the pastry because we were on a bit of a carb kick. And we had sweet potato mash with cheese on it on top. And I had that for lunch today. Small plate.
Ooh.
Very good.
What am I vaping on? Okay. I've also got one of these little beauties. Look at that.
I know. How's your week been?
How's my week been? Same as ever. We're a little bit slow with the post. Carly's off on holiday.
Bloody lazy. Can't get the staff, mate.
She's back now, so she'll be back.
Good.
So yeah, we've worked a little bit harder, me and Annie, to keep up. But no, all good, always all good. brought a couple of new products out, so that was cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, vaping on trypophobic mod. Goals I got today with a mirror purple door on it. And yeah, I'd like to say thanks to Bradley for that. It's lovely, really nice. And on top of that, I have got the stainless steel conspiracy RDA with a Vince's tip.
It does look cracking on top of that. It really does.
That plays on the stainless steel perfect.
Yeah, yeah, really good. I thought it would. I thought this would be better with a black Atty, but when I put it on there, it wasn't. Yeah, I really like that combo. So it's the same colour. It's really good. And in that, I've got some of Bryn's mango juice, Mang Dem, a recipe he's put up on e-juice recipes. He's got a recipe out there. It's good mango juice.
Has he linked it on the group?
I don't know. I think he may have at some point.
If you haven't, then Bryn, do it again.
Yeah, ask him.
I'm sure he did the other week. But,
between me and Bryn, we're nailing these mango recipes down now. I've got one that's slightly different as well that I'm just about ready to put on there. So yeah, I'm vaping on that in there. What else? I busted out the Velocity because, in my opinion,
tribute.
Yeah, in tribute. In my opinion, this is the Hall of Fame Atty this week. We talk more about that.
Don't shoot your load. Don't shoot your load.
If I had my say, I'd say that would be up there for what it did for 2 post Atties, basically. Yeah. And underneath that, should I say, I've got it on the Anatonian that was sent to me by a lovely guy who asked for a switch on SV, I think, for my Darwin mod, Squonker, and he sent me a whole mod. So I've got it on there and chugging away on Voodoo Brew in that.
Wicked.
Next, yeah, finally, actually, I'm only going to do this that one. Yeah, I've got the black one. There you go. I got sent the Black Conspiracy RDA. And I've got that on top of my Rogue LE number 5. With another Vince's tip on top. Got a yellow one on top of there. And in that, I am vaping on Vape Kitchen Thai Mango Sticky Rice. So thanks, Steve, for sending that to me. That
is a bit of a show favourite because I know it's a big one for Richard. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the top twos.
If I can butt in with Ant Sneeve sent me some pictures of the Conspiracy RDA to show everybody.
Yeah, the black one's out now, isn't it?
Yeah, and he sent me some pictures. So I think I'm really rating this Atty. In fact, it's the first Atty, and looking at what I've got in front of me that I'm actually using this week, I haven't got a goon in front of me. Yeah. So it must be good. It's doing this. It's winning on the reach for test. Because this is what I'm going for, and I'm not missing the goons using them, so it's probably a first for quite a long time. Actually, I don't think they're better than the goon, but I think they're on par.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd quickly just give it a little plug. This Atty, I've got a couple of pictures to show because it's worthy, and I think it's because it's designed over here. I think we should support it really.
Yeah.
Go and grab one. I mean, they're 50 quid. And
it does look good in black. It does look good in black.
Yeah, there is. There's another picture of it in black. And here's the deck. Some might say it's postless, but it obviously has got posts, sort of. But it's a top down where you drop the coils in, bend them out slightly. A bit like the Cosmonaut, but not as drastic. You don't have to bend them as much as that one. So that's the Conspiracy RDA available from Fusion Haze.
Fusion Haze, yeah. The difference is you can bend it to taste, can't you? Bend it to your own.
Yeah, I've really had no bother at all with it. I've had no problem setting it up. It's well made. This, you can't really see this, but this is all silver plated. The whole of the deck is silver plated.
Yeah.
I think I might have to get one of these.
And it really is. I don't know what it is, but when you've got the cotton in there and your juice, it seems to look really clean in there. I don't know why. I mean, there's no reason for it when you've got a stainless deck and a silver one, but it just looks brighter. And yeah, I don't suppose it does much for hitting hard, as some would like me to say. It does hit well. It hits hard.
Very good.
So yeah, right. That's what I'm vaping on. And what was the question?
That's it.
Oh, animal.
Oh yeah, the zoo.
Animal.
You know what animal? You know, we took the kids to Colchester Zoo. I think it was Colchester Zoo. Well, we've taken them to London and Colchester. And my favourite animal there was the otters, all flying around in a tank. And they're great to watch. They're good fun.
Get a lot of value for money from the otter.
Yeah, they're busy, aren't they? They're a busy animal.
I like an otter.
Pockets.
Okay.
Right.
Let's get our guest.
I think we're gonna.
Are we going to bring a guest in or something?
Yeah. Let's get our super top secret special guest. Is he coming in?
Hey, Bradley from Tripophonic Mods, or Bob from Bob Mods.
It's Bradley Bob. Hello, Bradley. How you doing?
Hello, guys.
How are you doing on this fine evening?
I can't complain. Even if I did, I wouldn't listen to myself.
Wise words.
Well, I think everybody's drooling over the RDA Home Show mods, and they are rather fucking awesome.
I'm very pleased with the way that logo came out.
It's really, really good.
Our ones, Brad, they've got mirror backing on them, have they? And it's been etched through or lasered through the mirror backing.
Yeah, laser through the back. I've got a purple mirror one myself. I just have a propensity for green and yellow, so made a neon one for myself.
Yeah, rather awesome.
Yeah, really cool. Thanks ever so much for that. That's
really cool.
It's a pleasure, guys.
been
It's
actually, and I like it.
I don't know, before we will say that coming up soon, Bradley has actually given us one of these mods to give away to somebody who's watching.
You lucky guys in chat only.
But we're not going to tell you how yet, because I don't know if we've worked out how. But we will work out how.
It's going to go to a dedicated Omi who watches the show live and gets in chat. So
yeah, definitely.
And you just cannot get giveaways like this anywhere else.
You really can't. I just think it's fucking awesome. So which way around are we going to do it, Richard? Are we going
straight into the questions?
Straight into the questions for Bradley.
Cool.
Okie dokie.
You've got to do the classic ones first, though, John.
Okay. What did you have for lunch? Sorry, we will get on to more, you know.
I had pizza with bacon and egg on it, and I still have the leftover pizza on my desk.
ready for a nice evening snack.
Exactly. I went down to Chris Scott's place last weekend, and he actually gave me a lesson in making pizza. So I took his advice and I made a pizza this evening.
Very good. I like it. How long? We just got to go the normal ones, really, buddy. How long have you been vaping?
3.5 years now. Started on the usual terrible pod devices and horrible pens that made their way to South Africa.
Right.
Got on to...
But you were a smoker before you started vaping, or?
Yeah, 30 a day, Lucky Strike smoker.
Fucking hell, good man. Good man. Proper smoker.
Strike. I used to smoke those sometimes.
Yeah, you're giving away your age with that, Rick.
A bit rough. A bit rough. Oh yeah. The other thing is, what do you do apart from do Tripophonic? So what do you actually do for it? What do you have a real job as well, don't you?
Yeah. I'm a management consultant and a compliance manager for insurance firms. So very, very boring paperwork.
And you still do that, and you do Tripophonic in the evenings. Anybody who follows Tripophonic on Instagram will have seen Bradley making mods at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I do those during the day, and I build mods till about 3 a.m.
It's tripophobic.
Tripophobic. Sorry. I always do that.
He's got a veto, the same as Todd has a veto. Can call me Bob Mods. You can call me Tripophonic Mods.
But doesn't Todd call it something else, not tripophobic?
He calls it tripophobic.
Oh,
either tripophobic or Bob Mods.
Well, I'm a bit tripophobic. That makes bloody awful tripe, doesn't it? It's awful, that stuff. But tripe is actually tripophobic, isn't it? Is that why tripe is called tripe?
Why?
What is
yeah.
Because that's got all the patterns, isn't it? Tripe. It might be.
That is quite true, actually.
Yeah.
That is the correct pronunciation.
What, trypophobic?
If anyone
Yeah,
likes
it is round here anyway.
type called tripe because it's trypophobic.
Yeah, somebody have a quick look. Have a quick Google, because it has got those patterns inside it. So we're now talking about the inside of cow stomachs.
Baz is saying tripophobic.
Tripophobic.
Yeah.
Let's ring off your favourite liquids. What are your top 3 liquids?
Can I just clear something up quickly as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
People are thinking trypophobic is being scared of something. That's not true. Trypophobia is being scared of irregular holes. Trypophobic is the actual irregular holes. So,
Technical.
Yeah. I googled that.
And I just thought I made it up. Go-to liquids at the moment. It's very simple, and they all come from one website.
I didn't even plan that. That's not bad.
Basically, the entire cactus range, because I have a hard-on for cactus flavor.
It's so good, isn't it? I have to admit, I think it's great.
The only other go-to for me is Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Very good stuff.
Yeah,
Which one's that? The
rhubarb ice cream.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's
Winner, winner.
I really like Russell. And Mark's Cactus Punch range. It's one of those things. If it's your bag, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
You wasn't expecting that at all. You did. What's your atomizer of choice at the moment?
That's up for debate. Yeah. Would be between the Sol, the Hadley, and the Armour.
All the little guys.
All the little guys, yeah. I'm a short atty man.
Yeah, intense.
Yeah, nice and warm flavour.
So we've got long questions coming up. This is a difficult one, but we're going to go with favourite, because you are a UK modder. You know that. I told you that at Vape Fest.
Yeah.
Who we're gonna? Because I probably know you're going to see, because you put the family shot up just before we came on. Favourite mods and modders other than yours. I had to put that in.
That's a difficult one. Like, you saw the picture.
I know you've got one of Nigel's in front of you, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got Nigel's SVBF.
Yeah.
I've got Benji's 3D half. I'm still waiting for a stab half. I've got a Ryan Dawes rock mods.
Yeah.
And one of Scott Perry's zipper mods.
Oh yeah.
I think the one I pick up the most is probably Nigel's SVBF.
Yeah. Solid, aren't they?
Yeah, it's what I wish is.
I don't know whether I always do this when I do it again. I was going to say I don't know whether to say this, but I will. I'm going to say it. There's something really. I was watching another show the other day, and they were talking about being able to talk. Sometimes it's quite difficult, sending modders messages and them not answering. You don't know that they saw it. Number one.
Yeah, exactly.
And just because the little head moved down, it didn't mean anything, because lots of people get lots and lots of messages and they might just flick it open and the head moves down and they didn't actually. They've got other jobs on, or they've got other things to do. I only brought that up because somebody said it the other day, and I get why it's frustrating for people, but you just think logically.
A lot of people don't realise that most of these UK modders have got jobs outside.
Yeah, exactly.
So, including Brad, they're not machines. They're working all the hours they can outside of their day jobs to make these mods.
Yeah, and not just that. They could be doing something.
Banging out hundreds every day.
I try getting my own back, but during the day I'll flick through the messages, see what people are asking, and then I reply to them at 2:00 in the morning.
You mentioned a lot of modders there. Do you feel like it's a competition, or do you feel like a little gang there? It's a bit of a modders community sort of.
Oh yeah, it's all about community. I go out of my way to, particularly with new guys coming into the industry, and I still consider myself very new. The more modders that get into it, the better we become as a group.
Yeah.
And the stronger the market actually gets, because the more choice people have, the more people will come across into this niche section of vaping.
I honestly think we got probably the best modding scene in the world now in the UK. I'm biased, of course, but there's such a good community of everybody.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've got 10 mods in front of me by 10 different UK modders, and they're all pals and we'll help each other out and do bits and bobs for each other. And it's a great time we're in at the moment, I think.
There isn't a single UK modder that I haven't spoken to in the last 12 months, that I haven't asked for advice, who I know what a modder's time is like. So I know they don't reply instantly, but they all get back to you. They all have advice. They're all willing to help out. It's fantastic. It's made my life a lot easier.
I think it's probably quite good because the demand is high and the supply is short as well. I mean, you guys can't make, between you all, you can't make enough mods to satisfy the desire for them at the moment.
Exactly, which is another reason why I don't see any other modder as competition.
No, yeah. No. If someone wants one, they'll have one of everybody's mods, probably.
Yeah. How did it all come about, Brad? Like in terms of the design and then the name off the back of it, and
it actually came about.
It's very unique, isn't it?
Yeah, it came about as a complete sort of joke. I wanted what was it? It was an octopus mod, which I wanted to buy for a friend of mine, Alex, who used to work at House of Vapes in Fulham. Had a look at it, thought, okay, well, this is quite a simple mechanical device. Pretty much anyone can make these. Why are they so hard to buy? I started with a very simple design just for myself. I had no intention of selling them. And I found out that Alex was mildly trypophobic, or had the fear. And I basically came up with the design with all the holes just to piss him off. And then when I wandered around with it, showed people pictures, people started buying them and ordering them. I was like, well, I kind of made this just for myself. I'm gonna have to make a plan to sell these.
I think it's good I think you've got to these days have a unique selling point of your mods, or a unique design feature, because they are pretty similar, most of them, aren't they? So,
I will say the other unique, because obviously Brad's not going to say this, because otherwise you'd be a living embodiment of a nightmare. But the other thing that sells the mods is Brad, because if anyone's ever met him, he's one of those guys who just goes straight at you, like in a nice way. Like, because the first time I met you was at Vape Jam this year when Grim was there and stuff like that, and this beanie clad dude just head straight over, and I wouldn't do the South African accent. I went, "Oh, hello, John. You do the RDA Home, so do you?" Like, yep. I make these mods, and then showed me the mods. It was really, really cool. It's really nice to see when we meet somebody who's really passionate the way you are. It makes a massive difference.
It helps because I'm a massive narcissist.
Exactly.
It does help. It does help having the enthusiasm, for sure, because it's quite hard to keep the enthusiasm up.
Yeah.
So yeah, hang on.
It's funny you mentioned Grim, because I think my first sighting of a trypophobic mod was on a Grim Green video, I think.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, at Vape Jam. It was his birthday at Vape Jam, so we gave him one of the original ones, which I've got back here.
Just had Nick gave him some Kinder Buenos.
I gave him a polishing rig. He hasn't mentioned that though.
I gave him, if you want a list, packet of frazzles, a bottle of port.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I still owe you some money for that lot.
No, you don't. Yeah. So that's how it came about. You just literally said, "Happy birthday, here you go."
Yeah. So happy birthday. Here's a present for you.
He liked away, wasn't he? Because he hadn't got like a properly modded Squonker before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
No, it only seems to be recently starting to drip. Well, these mechanical Squonkers starting to get into the States. Really, they've been using their regulator for quite a long time, haven't they?
Thingy have been the
bolts.
The blooms have been showing Squonkers of various types for a long time.
Aren't they mainly regulated? The guys.
They are, yeah. I was just kind of speaking and thinking, yeah, Brian, they're both regulated people. I should shut my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm new to Squonking. Fuck off.
And we were, and you were saying just before we came on, Brad, that you're doing Expo. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, we'll be vending at Expo. Yeah. End of
You're
October.
there, haven't you, in the Modders Gallery?
Yeah, in the Modders Gallery, we're actually launching 2 new devices there. Or two new versions of the Phobia.
Wow.
We're all coming to Expo as well, so we'll come and annoy you. For sure.
Please do. I'll have a beer waiting for each of you.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I think we'll bring one over for the mods and stuff. Just keep bringing beers over.
So they're doing a Modders Gallery Expo.
Yeah.
Oh wow, nice.
It's a last minute thing. Apparently, they've come up. They said they were doing it ages ago, but then at the last minute, well, just recently, when Bradley can confirm this, I think it's been a bit of a back burner where they've been focusing on the higher end, higher money stand.
I've been talking to them for about 3 months now about putting together a Modders Gallery and having us all the modders together.
Yeah.
And it's just taken a bit of a while for them to get all of that planned. And I think on Friday last week, they approached everyone to confirm there's going to be a gallery for us.
Yeah.
I think that
annoyed how it's so late in the day.
I will say, I think that's the one thing that's probably missing from Expo, because they do the themed stands are huge at Expo, but there was a perfect space. You know that? Were you at the last Expo?
No, it wasn't.
So there was like a VIP-ish area where there was nobody really there. We kind of just snuck in there. But it was perfect for that kind of thing. It would have just settled in, because it's away from the girls in their pants thing. And
I think they messed up a bit at the last Expo, to be honest, having all the separate bars, where before it was all in the middle, one sort of big bar area. I think that was better than having different bar areas at the last one.
That is the typical Ideal Home Show response. I think where they fucked up was where you buy the beer from.
Well, yeah, that's where we spend all our time, isn't it? I mean, come on.
It's true. I wasn't going to go, but I am now coming because I want to see.
No one's interested in juice and atties and mods. They just want to buy a beer, don't they?
You have to have your priorities straight.
I saw somebody had posted as a thing on Reddit the other day, and it was for fuck, I don't care, but Fantasia e-liquid, which were at Expo. The Fantasia, they basically nicked everything from Fanta. And do this whole Fanta thing, and they were moaning about on Reddit. They were saying, "Oh, this is really bad. It's aimed at this is the image we're trying to get away from." Blah 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 blah. Blah. And it was just a picture that they've been using for marketing. And I just thought, you haven't seen anything yet. You want to be at Expo? They've got like 10 women in skin tight suits and actual 20 feet Fanta bottles and stuff. And it's like fucking shit.
And I'm looking forward to getting out to Expo in October, isn't it?
Yeah,
October,
yeah. Last weekend of October, 27th to the 29th.
I just saw Craig in the background. I hadn't noticed that. Very fucking awesome.
There he is.
Ask him what's in the drawer.
He is on the show.
Ask him what's in his drawers.
Should we go into the news and then go back to young Brad?
We're going to
Let's go into the news. Go on.
Yeah.
There's the news, John.
Okay, we shall start the news. I've got to go back up my page. I'm going to mention it because it's out this week, which is that the reviewers and people are starting to receive them, which is the K-Fun Prime. I don't think we've had a review out yet of anybody that I'd give a crap about.
I think Mark's going to do one, but he's not allowed until it's released or something.
Yeah, I think Damien's got one too, which I think Bonner's probably got one. I don't know.
I can do one if you want.
You can do one. I'd like
K-Fun 5, but bigger.
That's kind of what is in the rest of the thing. I put in my notes. I put K-Fun Prime, more of the same or actual innovation. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not being silly, but the K-Fun 5 was a larger version of the K-Fun Mini.
What's the capacity on the Prime?
2. It's got to be 2.
Well,
because they're selling it on Cloud 9.
I don't get it.
What's Cloud 9 called again?
Creme de Vape.
Creme de Vape. Prem to Vape selling it. It's got to be 2 if they're selling it.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I hope
you know what I think of when you say the word Prime? I just think of the Transformers and Optimus
Yeah,
Prime.
Optimus Prime.
So
Perhaps
might
it
be
turns
like a
into a
transforming
parking lot.
atomizer. Yeah.
I do hope, and I know Mark's got the same feeling. I watched Mark's vlog yesterday, this morning, and I know Mark's got one, and he said the same thing. He's a massive K-Fun fanboy, as was I, back in the day with the Lite and the Lite Plus, and then yeah, fucking hell, man. It always seems a shame to me when somebody can't see how they've made the sales they've made, you know, and that they can't see what their USP is, and that they've lost their USP in the last 3 models. To me, I know the 5 was better, but it wasn't. It wasn't back to their old standard. It's all right.
The 5's all right. The 5's all
I
right.
quite like the 5. For me, it's a mouth to lung Atty.
I had a 5, and I've actually just bought another light today off of the SV group because I preferred it.
Yeah,
It's a better A. It's just a better A. To me, I just think, come on, move forward.
It's
not their only release, is it though? Aren't they doing it at several Atties at once?
I think so. I don't know what they are.
But I don't know what the point of the Prime is, genuinely. Because if it's going to be wider, surely the advantage is capacity. I
think it probably is in the rest of Europe, but perhaps here it's not.
We should have.
We'll see when the review comes. It must be
available in the UK. Then.
Hopefully, they're not the sort of company that just slings out a load of Atties and hope one of them takes. You know,
There's been a lot. I've got no vested interest. I don't give a fuck. But if you can think of the companies that have gone just plateaued. So I'm going to chuck Sfomesto can go in that bin. So can whoever made the Squape. Not made anything worth buying for ages.
Squat
whatever. Yeah.
Innovate,
because these other companies are really, you know, these companies like Watofa and stuff are knocking stuff out, and the next one's not just the same shit rehashed. You're gonna have to try harder, just in my thing. Sorry,
the jury's out there. We'll find out. We'll find out on the 23rd of September.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, look forward to seeing Todd and Damien and Scott's reviews on those.
I'm about to put a post on the group, and it ends when the show ends. This isn't for the mod. I am gonna put the post. All it says is it's purple, and it says "Not a problem, Chris." That's what it says. Chris Bishop has kindly Nata wasn't really his cup of tea, but he's got 300 milliliters of Nata that he just wants to give away to somebody. So someone's going to win all 300, mainly because I'm lazy as shit and I'm not doing 3 randomizers. But somebody can win 300 ml of Nata e-liquid from Chris. I think it's in 3. It's in 3 or 6, if you're one of the 2. And you can win that if you're watching live. I'm going to shut it at the end of the show. Just comment. Comment your favourite swear word. That'll do me. And I will. I'll do a randomizer tomorrow. I'll shut it down when the show ends, and I'll do a randomizer tomorrow. And that's from Chris Bishop. That's really kind of you, Chris.
Good on you, Chris.
That's what keeps things going. People doing stuff like that. Cheers, dude. I was on the Harm Reduction Journal. I mean, fuck me, whoever thought of that title was a twat, but whatever. They wrote the Harm Reduction Journal. But the shame was with a shitty website name like that. But they wrote a really good article the other day debunking the Surgeon General. Saying the Surgeon General had said that effectively in an ideal world, no one would vape or smoke. Right? That vaping isn't 100% good for you. Something we've never argued, not on the sensible side of of this whole sphere. the vaping community as a whole has talked about harm reduction, and we're talking about the 95% minimum harm reduction that vaping is giving against combustible tobaccos. And then all I did was copy their. They basically wrote a scientific report, and then they wrote the conclusion, and this was the conclusion. Optimal public health policy would minimise consumption of combustible cigarettes and minimise the long-term use of any other nicotine delivery product among youth and pregnant women. If cigarettes did not exist, e-cigarettes would present public health harms, but no likely benefits. However, in the presence of cigarettes as the dominant nicotine delivery product in Western society, e-cigarettes offer lower risk to users and may reduce long-term nicotine use if proven to be less addictive and easier to quit than cigarettes. And I just thought it was a really decent summary, and it's an incredibly long report. It's about so I'm not going to read the entire thing, but the conclusion was this. And I really think it is.
We already know this anyway, don't we? I mean, the big question is we need to draw attention to is why the Surgeon General is, just carrying on with this rubbish and lying about the effects of vaping.
Because big tobacco pays for lobbies.
Well, yeah, they do. But this is the thing: we should always draw attention to the fact that there's other forces at work here, and certainly not the truth.
But I did like the fact that somebody actually gone out and done some work rather than sign this petition and dress up like a wizard on stilts. Actually, put some decent, got some decent minds in. And
there's nothing wrong with dressing up like a wizard and going up there.
That's always the example we use.
I've always had a random thought when it comes to these, particularly the name of that website, the harm reduction, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what would these people do if smoking and vaping didn't exist? Living in London is bad for you. Breathing is bad for you. Eating meat is bad for you. Eating butter is bad for you. Coming in contact with other human beings is bad for you. Like, I
have heard that if being a vegan, you can get punched quite a lot.
Oh, a hell of a lot. I'll happily punch a vegan.
Yeah.
it's just everything is bad for you.
Well, they ask for it, don't they? Come on, they ask for
it. We're aware it's not 100%, but life isn't 100%. Get over it. Let us carry on with what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't.
You're probably breathing in more harmful fumes just driving your car.
Yeah,
absolutely. And they don't. It's odd that you don't. I don't know if you know, but standing in front of a barbecue for an hour is the equivalent of smoking something like 2,000 cigarettes. But there's no warning on the side of the barbecue in big black letters that says "Don't do this."
And I barbecue twice a week. So
don't like the barbecue, for fuck's sake. You might die.
You might as well get back on the lucky strike.
Exactly.
You see, I totally agree. There's a lot of. I used to do this stupid joke because I used to work with a lot of old people. They would often ask, like in a roundabout way, ask if there was anything in my family. Like, is there any like diseases, kind of thing? And I said, well, my mother's mother was a colliery maid. If you don't know what that is, that's the ladies who used to sit at the top of the mines up north and sort through the coal.
Was that a job? Oh, that was a job.
That's a job, yeah, colliery maid. You sort through the coal and like size it up and stuff like that. And she drank too much and she smoked too much and she died when she was about late 50s, but she looked about 90. My granddad on my mother's side caught malaria in the Second World War, and it killed him 40 years later because malaria is fun; it always comes back.
Yeah.
My other granddad smoked like fuck and was an engineer for his entire life. And so I said, so the joke at the end of it was always the same, which was, unless poor is genetic, I think I'm going to be all right. They died of being shit poor working class people. That's what they died of. Just that.
Oh, they used to drop dead at 30 years. They used to drop dead at 30 years old, didn't they? So we were on borrowed time already, really.
Yeah, and they look like shit as well.
Did we just find out what really killed Grandma?
Yeah, we did. Both. One of them was
drinking.
One was pneumonia, and one was smoking and drinking.
You told me it was cock.
just so that everyone's aware, my 77-year-old grandmother is actually watching.
Really?
And I might phone her to make sure she's still alive.
Yeah, my grandma didn't die of cock. Don't worry, Nana Brad. She didn't die of cock. She loved cock.
I'm going to retract
Right.
that statement.
I was so well placed. It was really good. Anyway, we're on to Rick's news. Rick's news.
My news. Okay, well, I'm going to try and say this without it sounding funny, because it isn't really funny, the news that I've got.
It's funny because I just read it and it made me laugh.
Well, I just saw this news and it jumped out at me. It's been on quite a few publications, and it's about this guy in Indonesia. He went into a vape shop and he stole a mod, or the vape shop owner thinks he stole a mod. They suspected him. They suspected Abby had stolen a vape mod in the store. However, instead of reporting Abby to the police, the owner and employees of the vape outlet tried to find Abby themselves. Finally, Abby was found and brought by several employees and co-owners of the vape outlet in August. Abby was then abused and beaten in the vape store in Jakarta, and he ended up dying. But they beat the bloke to death. And I was just going to say, you got it quite good in this country. If you're a shoplifter, you'll just get nicked, or maybe even let off. Even sometimes,
Probably let off.
But no, you don't. Just my message is to everybody: don't shoplift in Indonesia.
It might be
Because
the last
you're
thing
right.
you ever do.
They'll kill you. So, yeah, poor old Abby. But yeah, I'm not. It's hard to say that without. I'm not trying to be funny about it, but it's serious. But he died for nicking a mod.
Yeah. Over here, you'd just add nicked.
Yeah, so we got it pretty good over here if you're a shoplifter anyway. Yeah, I saw a good, interesting thing on the group this week, and I thought I'd just really quickly cover it, because somebody was, and I've seen it a few times on other groups as well. A few people asking about the battery orientation in Squonkers, and particularly mech Squonkers, and there's confusion about it. I mean, yes, a mech Squonk will work just as well with a battery round one way or the other, because you're just completing a circuit. But there is a good reason why you put a battery the positive side up in a mod like Brad's, for instance. I thought
down.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason for that is, I'd just like to explain it. Hopefully a few people will see it and will understand. If you have your battery that way around in a mod and you rip your wrap, basically your whole battery is negative. Let's take the battery out. Your whole battery is negative, right? From the bottom there, all of the body of the battery, until you get to this little bit in here that's isolated by that round insulator. So, right, if you have your battery round that way, it doesn't matter if you tear your battery wrap and it touches the negative nut. But if you had it round that way and you shredded the wrap on there and that touched the battery, the 510 nut or anything like that, which it goes pretty close on these small mods, you would in effect be you'll create a dead short on your battery. So it will and hopefully not go into thermal runaway.
Can I stop you there? Can I stop you there quickly? You're going to go over to Kelvin.
Oh, someone's
Kelvin time.
Who's
Should we go to Kelvin live?
Someone's
He's not on.
echo. Is it me?
He's not on. No, it's okay. It's gone.
So we can ask him in chat.
Oh, I'm sad to see you say that Kelvin Guy is not live tonight, so we can't flick over to Kelvin Guy as we have been doing for the last 3 weeks. But he is in chat, so you can...
I've asked him in chat what he's up to.
Yeah, good.
What are you up to?
Well, say hello to Kelvin, who's in chat.
Hello, Kelvin. He's in chat. Sorry, carry on.
No, that is all I was saying. Really, was somebody was asking on the group, and
It's a good question.
Just pointing out.
I tried to help at the start by saying, I was trying to say what you've said in a lot more sensible way, Rick, which was have a look at it and think which way the battery should go around. But you've nailed it.
The whole reason is because if you rip the wrap at the positive end, on the negative side and it touches that nut, your nut is the negative, so you create a dead short and you'll vent your battery.
What about those Squonkers that are like SVBF that have that thing in with the low voltage cutoff?
Yeah, well, do you know what? All that will happen if you put a battery in the wrong way around in one of those is it'll auto fire. So you'll know that it's going the wrong way. So it's not going to run. That's a regulated. Well, it's not regulated. That's a protected board.
Unregulated.
Yeah, a MOSFET.
Yeah, it's got a fit in it.
It's positive up in that, but all those type of mods that have that built-in thing, they'll always say, won't they?
Yeah,
but I think it's just a basic thing that a lot of people are missing is the fact that your battery is all negative except for that little bit at the top there with a little insulator. So you can shred the hell out of this wrap. It's not going to hurt in a mechanical mod unless you're touching that negative nut. With the positive up, touching it, because it'll create a dead short. So yeah, always go negative up in a mod like that where the wrap is anywhere near something that's touching negative, basically. And that's about all I've got to talk about.
Rick, are you going to? Shall we throw in that thing we were talking about before? It came up in a thread on the group about squonking.
Go for it.
It was mentioned that squonking is a fad, like everything else in vaping. It'll have its day, but ultimately it's a fad.
Okay, should we go around the people here and see what they actually think?
But especially Brad, I'd be interested to know what he thinks.
Yeah, go Brad first. There we go.
If it is, it is. If it's a fad, people latch onto it and they enjoy it for a while and then move on to the next thing, so be it. Those who, like myself, I've fallen in love with it, will carry on, and there'll be a niche group of us who stay behind. I don't see it as being a fad, but so be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My personal take is that it is a fad in some sense, but I think like tube mechs that have peaks and troughs of popularity, it had a big trough maybe 18 months ago, and then 12 months ago mech tubes were just back in a big way, and the squonking will never go now. It's far too established, it's far too good a way of vaping to disappear at all. I think it may have a little plateau, or
a little plateau and a trough. I agree with that.
I like all things do, but I don't think it's a fad in a sense that no one's playing with their yo-yos anymore. Or space hoppers,
John, what do you think?
To me, I said this a few weeks ago, or a few months ago, actually. I'll say it now again. There was, in my mind, because I'm an over-analytical twat, there were two things that coincided to relaunch squonking from what it was back in the day to what it is now, and that was people investing their time into it, as in designers and modders investing their time. We had the mods. We had a few mods came out, and then people started investing their time in designing atomizers for the mods. And if you look at the innovation in the industry, especially over the last 6 months, there's been so much of it funneled into atomizers for squonking with that are innovative. Unlike if you think of the time that's been spent on tanks in the last 6 months, which has been quite honestly piss poor. I don't think it's going anywhere, because I think you've made such a vast choice now for people that I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's almost become a subculture, a cemented subculture. So no, I don't think it's a fad. I think it's there.
Yeah, I have to sort of. I think it depends on where you're coming from, as to where. I think it's a fad? It's something different that's come along. I think it was from where I'm coming from is from maybe a tube and cloudy background. I think it was pretty useless when there wasn't. And I'm not trying to promote anything that I've done here, but before the 510s were good, the vape was a bit weak. And coming from somebody who likes a cloudy vape on a mech, it wasn't cutting it for me with a single battery mech, a mechanical Squonker. So if you're coming from that end, from that side, in conjunction with the TPD as well, you know, I was enjoying tanks. I've always thought drippers taste better. Now you've got 2 mil capacity of tank. I don't want to be fanning around with tanks that aren't giving me as good a vape, and I've got to fill up every 10 minutes. So I think having an 8 milliliter dripper on, well, now that the equipment hits like a mechanical mod does, I don't think it's going anywhere. So I don't think it's a fad at all.
I think you're completely entitled to blow as much smoke about your own brand as you like.
But I was going to give you both the same actual caveat.
Because
you have to give you. I think Rich and I give you both kudos for driving this forward, and you know, and especially Rick's giving people the tools to do that, and he'll never say it, but it's true.
To be honest, it was selfish reasons that I brought the 510 out.
Everything
because I wanted a Squonker to hit well, and
but everything is.
Yeah. But it was for selfish reasons of something that I wanted was a 510 to hit well.
You've come up with bottles
Simon started selling
that have completely opened up the industry to new modders and made it incredibly easy for new guys to come in and get the right 510, get the right bottles. That's half the job done right there.
Oh, it's nice of you to say. Thank you.
Absolutely, it's totally true, Rick. But everybody does things for, like, especially in the first instance, for selfish reasons. I know that me and Simon, when we first started, when Simon had the idea for the liquid company we started doing it, one of the first things he wanted was raspberry mint because we didn't have any. So,
well, yeah, that's to be honest. It's been everything that I design is because it's something I want when I make a mod.
Yeah, make it for yourself, and you'll be happy at the end.
I didn't want a 10 ml bottle of liquid anymore. I don't want 10 ml bottles of liquid. I want 100 ml. So that works, and it's, you know, that's fantastic. The innovation in, especially, and go, you know, as a callback to what Rick said earlier, the British modding industry is fucking amazing. Yeah, it really is.
The UK is smashing the squonking scene.
I think so too. I think it's great to be a part of it, and I'm enjoying it very much. We're all the extended family and friends that we're getting to know. It's brilliant. I love it. It's great. But John, coming back to what you said about Atties again, you said about, obviously we think the Nada and the small Atties, and Bradley likes the small Atties. It shows how versatile squonking is, because I like the big Atties and they're not squonk Atties. They might come with a bin now, but I'm on 24 mil Atties all day long, every day.
Name a game. If you did like a, because we're obviously doing a Hall of Fame in a little while too. But if we said that the Hall of Fame was narrow actually, and we only said, okay, let's go for the last 6 months. If I said to you, name a dripper in the last 6 months, there would be an act. We'd have a debate. There's a debate. What are we going to do? You know, oh, which way are we going to go? Which way are we going to go? If you said name a tank in the last 6 months, oh fuck it, I've no idea. Fuck, to be totally honest, I'd probably just make something up. If you said something, I'd probably just go, yeah, that'll do, whatever. There's nothing. To me, that it's a fucking open goal, especially from our side of the pond. No one's kicking shit in the pot.
We do need to bear in mind, though, we're a very small niche section of the vaping community.
I absolutely understand.
They're all chugging on big sub tanks.
Yeah, but there's lots of stuff, but it's not innovative, and there is innovation within the dripping industry. You know, in these, especially in squonking at the moment. There is some, but there's none. You know, when you put it as relative, it's fucking pointless.
Yeah, I mean, but we've come so far in the last 5 years. You know, when you
absolutely, I only take it
we're getting from this Atty, from this Atty, from this Atty. It's all as good as it could probably be. So there isn't much further you can go with flavour and vapor production really now.
I like to see a trier.
Absolutely. I mean, but it's got good.
I'll give it a bash later this year and see what I can come up with for you.
Come on, man, you're wicked.
But no, that was interesting. That was an interesting thread and or comment on the thread actually.
Yeah, well, it turned into the thread. It became the thread, didn't it? The comment. I thought it was an interesting comment. It's debatable. So
is it a fad? No, I don't think it's a fad. No,
I don't think it'll ever go.
I like how everyone else in the room is an optimist, and I'm a blatant pessimist.
Craig did in chat, and Craig said tank innovation consisted of bunging more and more coils in.
Exactly. Yeah, you got TFV 64.
Yeah,
that's coming out next week.
Yeah, next week, and yeah, you can run at 0.002,
and you can dry your towels on it. After.
And the battery lasts 10 minutes.
I thought you just plugged that one into the mains.
yeah.
My nan used to have one over the bar.
It's just a 3-pin plug and a wire.
Yeah.
But you got to remember though, 3-pin and a wire. They're only 20 amps. Those circuit breakers on in your fuse box.
Yep, good times. Is that your news, Rick?
Richard, yes, my news. What you got? What you got?
I'm going to load up Facebook on my computer. I'm going to launch this giveaway.
Oh,
Bradley,
yes. Okay.
Bradley has amazingly donated. Bradley's amazingly donated a mod for giveaway on the show. So I'm going to start a thread literally right now. Brad has thought in his head of a number between 0 and 500. And all you have to do in the thread is pick a number. And we'll close it as soon as the show finishes.
One entry per person, more than one, you're out.
Yeah. Yep.
Let
me just put that on.
Honestly, this is the best giveaway we've ever done. I will say, I think it is. I think it's
good that we can do this on the live show. It's a shame for people who can't watch the live show, but not everybody does even bother to watch the live show. So.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. But we're just trying to do something just for the people who sit and watch every single week and put something into it. And you're going to get an RDA Home show branded.
So that thread is now live. That thread is now live.
Germophobic.
Already has 20 comments.
Yeah.
I'll monitor it. I'll monitor it and see what the numbers are, Richard. Okay.
Well, while we're waiting for guys to come in with numbers.
Not in chat, guys, in the thread on Facebook.
I've got a series of questions for you guys because I came in late. I feel a little bit left out.
Oh, go for it.
So, hinging on the opening questions that you guys always ask, I've got 3 questions, one for each of you.
Right.
So, Richard, when last did you Google yourself?
Oh.
Rick, when last did you buy an LP and what was it? And John, when last did you dance in public?
Right. I'll go first. In order.
I'll go first, but I need some qualification.
When last did you Google yourself?
Vaping Vic or my actual name.
So what you're saying is you've done both.
Well, what comes up is a load of guff YouTube videos when I put in Vaping Vic. I have Googled my name. I think the only thing that came up was some sort of professor of like Harvard or something.
So there's no arrest warrant that pops up when you Google yourself?
No, there's no convicted rapists or anything like that.
You're obviously not a proper Leeds United supporter. They haven't been arrested.
I haven't caught you yet.
No, I only go twice a year. That's all I can take. 3 or 4 years ago, I think we all did it at work. My actual real name, and that's pointless putting in Vaping Vic. It's a load of nonsense.
Rick.
Next.
Me? Okay, when's the last time
No, what was the last LP you bought?
Lagoon.
No, not low pro.
Long playing record.
Lagoon LP. Okay, I can't. It's been a long time since I bought an LP, but I came into possession of an LP.
That works.
I was very lucky about 5 years ago. You know I like a bit of spray can art. I was approached by a hero of mine whose name is Morgan Khan, who produced the Street Sound albums many years ago, brought hip-hop to the UK, basically. he approached me and asked me if I would do some graffiti for a double LP, an open fold LP. It's the artwork for the inside. Of course, I said yes, and he sent me a copy of that with my artwork on it. So that was New Electro 2. It was called.
Nice.
I think we need a shot of that put up on the show with your art.
I agree.
On the page.
Yeah, I don't know where it is at the moment, but I'll try and find it.
When you find it, that'd be wicked.
Yeah, yeah. John.
I even know. Do you know what? It's quite crap. There's only 2 people in the world I ever dance with. Right. One of them is my wife. Like, as in, when I say dance with, I don't mean like an old person moving a wardrobe. I mean, you know, piss around, dance with. I only do one type of dancing, which is to like a knob. I don't care. If anyone's ever met me will realise that I don't really. I wouldn't get embarrassed about that. I don't really give a fuck.
Drunk uncle at a wedding dancing.
But yes, so I do that really. Yeah, that's it. But I really go for it. That's the plan. And so actually, the last time I danced was at my brother-in-law's wedding. But sadly, that was last. No, it's their first wedding anniversary. It was their first wedding anniversary the other day, so that would make it last September. It was the last time I danced.
Okay.
Like a knobhead.
Can I make a little suggestion, guys, about this post? No one's getting anywhere near it because there's so many choices.
Should we shorten the range?
It's the closest wins.
It's
the closest wins. And someone is very, very, very close.
Okay. I was going to say drop it down to, yeah.
It's closest wins, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm giving it away now. But closest wins, okay.
Well, so they can only have one entry, so it makes no fucking difference because they probably.
No, we can say start again and. Yeah.
No, leave it.
Okay.
Closest wins.
Richard, your news.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to start with Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Put some pictures up, Rick, in my news section.
Good questions, by the way. I did enjoy them, Brad.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, really cool.
Thank you.
Okay, so this week was RDA week. I'm thinking I'm going to throw it out there. I'm thinking about throwing the cat among the pigeons next week and doing a starter kit. Hall of Fame starter kit. Very, very difficult. Anyway, this week was RDAs. And again, like last week, because it's brand new, the Hall of Fame, there was, as anticipated, the usual suspects. So after all the nominations, the shortlist came out, and the 3 that were on top were the Nada, the Goon, and the Velocity. If you pull one up, and we'll talk about each one, and then we'll put one in.
Okay. There's the Nada.
The Nada. All of these 3, I think, have got in common. I think it's perfect for the Hall of Fame because they all did change things.
Yep.
And I think the Nada set a path to these lower profile, smaller, more intense RDAs.
Definitely set a precedent for the quality small RDA squonk, Patty.
Sadly, I have no opinion on it because I've never used ones because they're next to impossible to get hold of.
Yeah, but we can't let that cloud our judgment. The people that
I think you can. I think you can from a personal level.
Yeah,
I can't.
Not from a Hall of Fame entry.
No, it's definitely a Hall of Fame entry. I'm gonna veto it from my own list in my brain because
when you vape on a Hadley, a Wasp, and all of these other small ones that Brad's got on his mods now, they all come from this.
Yeah, they were all inspired by that, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a worthy Hall of Famer, definitely.
Definitely worthy.
It's and it's another one of these atomizers that if you put one on a sales page now, it would just be gone in seconds,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And how long ago was it out? It's over a year now, isn't it?
Well, longer than that.
Yeah.
It's about 2 years now.
I know I trust all the bit. There's some opinions out there, like Mark Todd's opinion, for instance. He knows, and Craig knew as well. He had one, and they are the quality small.
Craig did the Craig thing with it, gave it away.
Gave it away, man. Yeah.
To be honest, I gave mine order away as well.
Yeah,
I loved the flavour of it, but it was such a difficult atty to build on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I had the Hadley, which gave me the same flavour, and it was piss easy to build. So I gave the Nada away.
If we slide on to the next one, I think that's a theme with these. They all set a trend, but none of them are perfect.
Yeah.
The Goon.
Well, there we go.
The original Goon, like, people weren't happy with the because it was the very first clamp system, and it was the first clamp ones where the actual bar bent a bit over time.
Well, I never had a mind bend, but I did see people did wreck them.
You might just be a little bit too weak to bend the brass.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think people do try and screw down too tight.
Brad's just calling you a fanny, basically.
Yeah, I've been called worse.
But again,
I think this is. I don't know. You know what? I think this is a Hall of Famer because from some people don't like them and some do. If you come from a mech background and you like a cloudy vape, this copes with it and gives you great flavour.
And not just that, though, it did the thing that the Nada did as well. It changed the game. That's all it's got.
I don't know if it did change the game really though. The clamps aren't that good. I mean,
a lot of people have copied the clamps.
Yeah, but clamps aren't brilliant. They copied them because the Goon did well. Clamps aren't brilliant, but the flavour on the Goon and the airflow and juice capacity is good.
I'll tell you what about
tails and flavour.
I'll tell you what about the Goon as well. It was the fancy coil builders ATI of choice at a time where all these coils had been invented. No ATI could fit them in. People were doing like single coil iterations because they couldn't get both coils in. This came along and could just put any coil in you wanted, hands down.
It shows the power of social media, doesn't it? I mean, these were everywhere on Instagram where people were building ridiculous coils that are unvapeable, putting them in there and taking fancy photos of them. And it was a great ATI for that. But beyond all that, it's a great go-to ATI for me still, and probably will be, has been my ATI of the year, to be honest.
It's still my favourite RDA right now.
Flavour is spot on with it. I love it. I love the version 1.5 even more than the old ones now. So 24mm ATI of the year for me. But I don't think it did as much as the Nada or our next entry has for RDAs. But
well, let's slide on to that then, and then we'll decide.
Yeah.
The Velocity.
There we go. Dino and Cisco's Velocity.
And we've had Dino and Cisco on the show.
You couldn't even, if you had an hour, you couldn't name every RDA that has Velocity posts. You couldn't, and RTA as well.
They designed something that was simple and should have been done a long time ago, which was basically a bent center post that stopped you having to bend these coils into stupid positions to make them central. You know, they made the
angled posts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine building on 3-post ATIs, but it's still not convenient as sticking a couple of wires in.
When you wrap a coil, one coil lead is higher than the other. And this was like the first RDA that addressed that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They put the side screws on it so you could stagger them, and you got 4 different positions for your 2 coils. And it was a great tasting ATI. I've got one. I'm on the go now.
Two came with a squonk pin way before it was fashionable.
1.5.
One of the admins on my Facebook page has what can only be described as the single most remarkable collection of this ATI. It's his go-to on every single device he runs. That's the man. That's the man.
Yeah. You're talking about Bazza.
Yeah. It's remarkable. I've never seen anyone collect one item so prolifically.
Yeah, droids and velocities.
I've got it. I've coiled up my usual Goon build in this Velocity that I'm using now, and the flavour is bang on point still. It's taller than the Goon. It's bigger. But you know what, flavour-wise, and there's plenty of airflow, and build deck's easy to use. I absolutely think this is the winner of Hall of Fame. For first Hall of Fame.
I did a Craig with mine and gave it away.
Yeah, it is. It's a great idea, and we can't really dispute the numbers as well. If you look at the actual voting, you know, it had 50-60% of the vote. It
Yeah.
well deserved.
It had an outrageous amount of nominations as well.
It was definitely worth doing the poll. Absolutely, the velocity wins on so many levels. It just does.
The question is, so velocity's going in.
Absolutely does for me. In my mind,
Question is, do we save a bit of time up at the gooning as well? Because
I honestly think all three of them should go in. Personally, I think the Nard has done as much as the Goon has, even though the Goon's my favourite Atty. I think the Nard has done more for the people who like the smaller Atties than the Goon has.
Because when we do RDAs again, the Goon's going to win hands down.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, we should probably save time and chuck all three in because they all deserve to be in.
You could just get the low profile. It's going to be, if you go for that, intense flavour, you're going to get the Nard.
Yeah, and saying RDA Hall of Fame is there's too many sub-genres of RDA these days to say there's one winner. This is a 22 mil RDA. The Goon's 24, good for mechs. Nardo is for the small sconk guys.
So if in chat, let us know if you're all right with all three going in.
It does seem to be that in chat they're all
even Matt English says all three in,
all three.
and he's biased.
Yeah, Graham Mabry. I agree with people are saying they voted for all three. They all brought something different from that English. All three from Schwartzy. Yep. Yeah, people are going at all three.
A lot of people saying all three.
I think so. I think so. Just make
it opens it up for next time as well, because like me and Rick said, the Tobe does deserve a mention.
Absolutely does, and probably
cloudy RDA.
Mate, hopefully next time we do the RDA again, it'll take it, and these won't be entries. But
they won't be. We'll make it.
Free post Atties.
Okay,
I think
the everything has said it's all three.
Yeah,
chat's pretty unanimous there.
Yeah, everyone said all three. Good. Okay, they're all in.
They're all in.
All three, and it's time for John's golden entry. Craig had his last week with the Origeni. John, what is your instant placing in the Hall of Fame?
My instant placing in the Hall of Fame, rather than being a piece of hardware, because we kind of discussed this between the three of us, what could be in the Hall of Fame, and Richard gave us the outline of what could be in the Hall of Fame, and decided it could be hardware, obviously mods, atomizers. It could be a liquid. Or it could be a person. And so I decided to have a person. And my golden entry is Schwartzy just said, John's golden entry, we're back to the porn. My golden entry is a person, and it is the godfather of British vaping, and it's Scott Bonner. Because Scott, it will always be a hero to me. Scott stopped me smoking. Scott's just an incredible reviewer. I sort of watched. He was the first person I found in the vaping community, and
Isn't Scott really the first person? He invented the genre of vape reviewing.
He invented vape reviewing. And the other thing, I've said this to Scott in person now because we're mates. But Scott was the first person to, when you're outside of this really weird community that is vaping. I was just one. There was the only person I knew who vaped. It's the Bonner. The only person I knew who vaped was me. So I had nobody to talk to, kind of thing.
I was the same, John. I remember knowing nobody that vaped. It was only online stuff that you watched.
Yeah, online stuff, and I tried to join. I joined UKV, and as a forum, and I didn't really understand forums, and nobody spoke back to me. Nobody. Every time I typed something, everyone just ignored it. So I thought, oh fuck, I don't know. And the only person I sent Scott a personal message on Twitter, and he must have got back to me in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's a diamond. He's a lovely bloke. He does it.
And that was Scott like 4 years ago. He's just absolutely brilliant bloke, and he's brilliant. And he, regardless whether I knew him or not, he's a fantastic bloke.
He's innovative with what he was doing. He's obviously comes from a film background and knows his cameras, and he put a bit of production into a vape review, didn't he? Which transformed.
Yeah.
I don't know if there were any reviewers before him, but he certainly probably still makes the best quality production reviews on gear.
Technically is standout.
Yeah,
he's been helping me with some stuff.
And all these years later of getting bored of vaping, he still comes to Vape Fest and hangs out with us on a Sunday. And so he's still doing it.
And I think one of the great things about him as well is he's still so down to earth that I bumped into him on Sunday morning, and we had a chat, and he's still just an ordinary guy.
Yeah, he's just a lovely fella. We love him.
We love the Bonner. Sorry to hear about the dead deer in your front garden.
I said to him on that one, shame the travellers weren't on the green over the road. They would have come and taken it for him.
Yes, Scott Bonnet is my golden choice and
worthy too.
Yeah, I agree with your choice.
Yeah, very good.
So that's that. Oh, actual proper news, right? Okay. I've got a couple of new things. I'm going to really quickly. So we're sliding on time wise. I've got a couple of new things I'm going to show off. Just to throw some new things into the mix. This week I have received, or last week, I have received this. This is the Sinuous FJ from Wismec. It's the FJ 200, 200 watt mod. It is based on it's got several items that Wismec have done all sort of fused together. So it's got the brand new screen and interface from the RX, the RX Gen 3, but it's got the clasp of the Predator.
Oh, so it fires off the sides, does it?
Yes, got this little side thing going on.
Okay.
Before anyone was thinking this red and black, they were very good enough to send me the red and stainless steel.
Yes, you avoided the Michael Jackson.
Comes with this tank on top. It's a central thing, so it fits big at his on. Yeah.
I want to hate it, but I think they just stayed only barely a gnat's cock underneath too far.
This particular version I've got is garish.
It's not as bad as it could be, because if it was a bit bigger, it would be bloody awful.
There's a lot worse out there.
Yeah. And I think it's this thing we were saying before about there are different vapors out there, different groups of vapors, and the whole smock alien thing. If you just go down the high street, you'll see 3 or 4 smock aliens.
It's a really weird thing as well, because the smock alien, in relative terms, is shit. It's unreliable. They break all the fucking time, and the Predator was exactly the same. And so it's good to see another generation of hopefully something that's not shit and doesn't break.
I think you're far too kind in using the word relative. You can just say it's shit.
Shit, I can say it's shit, but I think it's relative to the people who I wouldn't fucking go near it. But the people who use it don't know any different generally, and they just break. I know they fucking break because the returns on them were huge, and the returns on the Predator were massive.
Should I, guys, while you're chatting here, should I turn commenting off on this thread and find out who's won it?
Yeah, go for it.
So we can announce it. Okay. Carry on without me then.
I've been watching it, and I think I know who's won.
Yes. Yes. We'll see.
I'm turning off commenting, so well done, everybody. That's it now.
I'll announce straight after Mod Showcase when I've had a quick check.
Cool.
So the final, they've taken away all the things that the reviewers mentioned from previous versions. So a lot of people didn't like it had a sort of weird touch fiery thing here. They've got rid of that. It's just the clasp. There's no touchscreen element, which has been frustrating on some mods. All that. The one unique move for Wismec that I've not seen before, it's built-in battery. So it'll be interesting to see that.
The other thing is, if you close your hand around it, Richard.
Yes.
The one thing I will say is that it has got quite a good advantage, which is when you've got your hand over it, you can't see 90% of it.
You can't see how ugly it is, yeah.
Which is pretty good, actually. That is an innovative move.
The light shines through, though. It's got the disco light, yeah. The other one is the return of the iStick. well, if they're not sending me black and red, they're sending me all black, which always looks brilliant on video and brilliant on photographs. This is the iStick Tria.
It's very thingy, isn't it?
It's incredibly square, but the reason for that is it is a 3-cell mod.
They're trying to do the RX without being an RX, aren't they?
Yes, so it's a 18650 300-watt mod. What I will say is it's pleasing how small they've managed to get these now. You know, from the original RX.
Have you got your next gen, the RX?
I've got the no, I don't have the Gen 3 on me. I've got the original. Right. I've got the RX 200S. So the shape is different, but that it does give.
Yeah. I agree. How are they side by side? Are they like the same height?
No, it's short. It's quite a bit.
Yeah, but the RX, the new one, is a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's not as small as that.
No,
and it's one of these things that almost Wismec have beat them to it, I guess, because they've managed to get it smaller. Yeah. But
that's what I was thinking.
Wismec have managed to get it even smaller.
Yeah, you've come out a little bit too late.
But it does make me wonder about the possibility of 2 batteries and a squonk bottle, though.
Yeah.
Because that's got to be an option now, hasn't it? I think that's the next thing.
Well, we have actually got a winner.
Ooh.
Somebody has picked the number.
The exact number?
The exact number.
Oh, wow.
It's bad with a 1 in 500.
I missed that completely then.
1 minute. Look at the last 4 posts.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, so this is the Tria. It's got quite a boring old-fashioned screen, 300 watt, very small. Comes with a very good tank. E-Leaf are doing very good tanks now. And again, I just thought I would throw that in your faces, just to show you what's coming out and about.
I think it's great.
Yeah, throw some new stuff in there.
Richard, what I can say is there's 2 UK modders that I know who are working on a 2-battery squonk device.
I am throwing all my mods in the bin at that point. all my regulated mods can just go in the bin at that point.
No, they both look awesome. I have to say that.
Yeah, I think obviously it's an issue size-wise, but if you can navigate that, I know Rick's got a brilliant one from.
I did see a UK modder coming out.
Oh, my Chris Scott one here that he made.
That's fantastic size and shape.
In there.
I will show you that after the show as well. The one that I've seen today from a UK modder. Oh, that's very good.
So that's some new stuff. Have we got should we mod showcase? Or are we doing the winner?
Mod showcase. Make them wait. Fuck them.
Okay, we do them quick.
keep them in suspenders.
Come on, get whistling.
They really hate it if I do it as well. Live.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
Hey, we're off.
It's that time of the week again where we show off a couple of mods that people have made. I've caught my eye on the mod showcase group on facebook.com. But I don't know, it seems every week I'm putting one up by this fella. He's getting so much attention from us. I don't know what's going on, but he's doing a job, so I'm going to show a mod made by, again, Hall of Famer, Scott the Bonner. The Bonner has put on another mod.
I could feel his pain though, because he actually flung it across the room by accident.
Yeah, he broke it.
He dropped it and broke the faceplate and had to do a fix on it. So we'll work our way around the mod and we'll show what I think it actually turned out better probably because of it.
Yeah, I think sometimes those sort of mistakes do end up leading to a better product at the end.
Yeah, I mean he dropped this, it broke. He's indented it now and put a new bit on there, and it's actually probably a bit more ergonomic in the hand now.
Yeah.
So
I love the colours.
Yeah, he's got
I could feel his pain when I read the post. Poor son.
Yeah, I just really think he's done a nice job on that again. And I'll probably be another one next week because he's banging them out left, right, and centre now, Mr. Bonner. So nice one, Scott.
Is there anything he can't do?
Not a lot. I mean, the man could. He should run for president, I think, in the States, maybe.
I think anyone could. My dog.
No, you need an American passport, don't you?
He deserves
Nah,
to get
don't
one,
give a shit.
doesn't he? I mean,
Oh, American birth
Yeah,
certificate.
he's the Bonner. Come on.
just send him a mod in straight away.
So yeah, that's Mr. Scott Bonner. He did a nice mod, and I thought I'd show that one off because
How old is Scott now?
Scott's getting on a bit now. He's actually 9 3/4.
9 3/4. Oof.
So he's actually using all the tools himself now. So
He's
he's
got big hands,
definitely
hasn't he, for a 9-year-old?
Yeah, he's got an amazing talent. Next up, we've got another mod that stood out. It's a little bit different. Another Squonker. Paula will be pleased to see. And this, I don't know who the guy is, but his name is Francesco Corbo. And he made this different thing. And it is different. I thought it was quite interesting. I mean, he's not trying to make a box like most of us do. He's actually gone a bit further and made quite an interesting.
I thought that was a different one because I saw one the other day with an exposed tube that I wasn't really a fan of, but I did that. I think it's honest, as you said in the past.
Yeah, I mean it's not a high end mod, but it's different, and I quite like to see different things. I mean, there's a few gaps. It's a working mod. You know, it's
shaping something like that to be that sort of ergonomically.
You can see. I mean, even down to where the thumb will go through there. You know, I mean, this is made for him, made to be comfortable for him, and
I really like the fire button actually.
Yeah, it's a Fat Daddy Vapes spring loaded button that you don't need a MOSFET with it. It can handle the amps.
Right.
But it's not the most comfortable button to click personally. It doesn't click. It's
I was just thinking that. I just like the sort of look of it.
Yeah, but it's quite an interesting mod, I thought, and worthy of showing. So that's Francesco Corbo. He's Italian.
Very cool.
Very nice. And that is that's a mod showcase of the week. If you like what you see, go on to www.facebook.com/groups/mod showcases. And you can see more there.
Still one of my favourite things.
Do the winner, Rick.
All right, okay, let's turn it off then. Pick a winner. Okay,
whoever wins this is absolutely laughing.
The numbers are in. There have been.
Oh, and I will get this in the post to you tomorrow. So I've got it. So you need to send me, when Rick says the name now, you need to send me a message on Facebook, and I will get it in the post tomorrow afternoon.
Well, I've scanned through all of the numbers and nobody was getting too close. A couple of people were within a couple early on, and then he got duplicated a few times. But finally, after 265 posts, one of the last 4 votes posts got it. And it's hard to pronounce his name, but I believe it's Tao Trace. And he chose the number 13, and that was the number that...
13.
Well done.
Congratulations.
So, Tao Trace.
Tao Trace. Congratulations.
Tao Tracy.
Yeah. You picked the right number, so drop John a message with your address, and he'll get that mod sent over to you. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you so much for that.
Cheers for that, Brad. That's brilliant.
It's a pleasure. Congratulations, guys.
Absolutely loving this. Really enjoying it.
So, is that? I think that's us. Is it?
I think that's us for the night.
Oh no, Troll of the week.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, Troll of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, wait there. I came too early.
Really quick Troll of the week. That's what killed Grandma.
Oh.
Troll of the week.
Right, it's a really quick one. This is John Hendren, who has made it his mission in life to go back on Twitter, and when people put a post along the lines of, in 4 years' time, remind me to such and such, he goes back to those people at the exact moment they've requested and reminds them of
Brilliant.
And he's basically doing this all day, every day.
Amazing.
So
he's basically put a search. He puts a search in for "remind me," and then he puts it in his diary planner thing, and he goes and reminds them.
Genuinely trying to think how he does it.
Back, Rick.
Yeah, present it, Rick.
Okay.
I was genuinely trying to work out how he did it because the posts are so varying.
It's obvious. He does a search for "remind me," finds dates on them, and he puts them into a planner that tells him in 4 years' time.
Right, I've got a few of these. I'll just do a few. Hey Ariel, time to put on the butt stripes. Ariel said, "Someone remind me in a few years that I want to be able to wear horizontal stripes across my butt on my 40th birthday. Thanks." Right, Mitchell JM said, "Extremely tired of being sweaty and dirty this week. In 6 years, remind me how much I hate to paint." John said, "Hey, painting is fucking bogus. Just reminding you." Exactly.
Years on.
Exactly.
God, he's been planning this his whole life, hasn't he? This thing. He's been waiting a decade for this.
Skip on to the next one, Rick. I'll see if I've got a couple on there as well. Right. This one's quite good. Elizabeth says, "A tick landed on me today. Remind me of this tweet when I become horribly ill in 5 years and can't figure out why." Hey Elizabeth, if you're sick right now and don't know what's up, it's probably that tick from 2011.
This is inspired. This is brilliant. He's got a great Twitter name as well, hasn't he?
John Hendron.
Now, what's the at fart bit then?
Oh yeah, just at fart.
He's an original Twitter. He's been planning this for years.
Someone remind me to grow my hair out for the next 5 years. Hey, sorry, just saw this. Hope you've been growing your hair out for the last 5 years. Amazing.
Last one.
Right. Is this one right? This one tickled me for some reason. Tricky Martin said, "Can someone please remind me to have a chino and no socks party in 5 years?" Hey TM, it's fucking party time.
Richard, every time you swear, I swear it's like hearing a 12-year-old say it for the first time.
Yes. I'm not a big swearer.
You drop the tone in your voice just in case your mother's standing behind you and she can hear you.
I'm not very good at swearing.
My wife has the same affliction. She very, very rarely swears, and when she does, it's normally at me, and I find it so funny that I start laughing, and she gets angrier and angrier and angrier. So when she tells me to fuck off, terrible. Just fuck off.
So that's at fart on Twitter. It's amazing. That is just next level.
That's wicked.
This is inspired planning. He's obviously a seasoned Twitter user. Having the name fart and being able to get that one.
He also must do calendar events for everyone's tweets.
Yeah, he finds them. He obviously does a search for remind me, and that's what he's doing. Good on you.
Amazing.
Good on you, John.
Very good.
I'm going I'm just going to shut the 300ml giveaway, and I will do a randomizer tomorrow with the names that are on that one. Turning off the comments now.
Cool.
Your favourite swear words, and I will get back to that tomorrow, and I'll post the results up.
Well, I'd like to thank Brad for coming on. Thank you ever so much, mate. Thanks for the mods and thanks for the giveaway. And
thank you very much for having me.
If anyone wants
loads of fun.
Go and see what he's doing at Expo. Just buy one of these puppies.
And
Where do we find you on Facebook and stuff, Brad?
www.facebook.com.
Yeah, exactly. The blue website.
Yeah,
an F in a box, isn't it?
What do we put in the search bar?
If you start typing trapophobic mods, it pops up pretty quickly.
Very cool.
And
Facebook or Instagram, they're both pretty easy to find.
And go and buy one of those, because we are going to annoy the fuck out of you over the coming weeks with hand checks. So you might as well just get one now.
Yeah.
Really smitten with this.
Well, brilliant. Thanks for coming on. And I think we're going to say goodbye. So this has been the Ideal Home Show, episode 97. Hopefully catch you all next week at about
see you next Thursday.
Yes, Thursday, 9 o'clock-ish.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Brad.
Bye.
Bye.
There's John. Well, he hasn't got his red card with him. Look, he hasn't got his red card, but we'll all do.
Bye.
Bye.